All right, they have both assigned each other column 5.
Ooh, we've seen
That's
this happen again.
exactly, yep, that is exactly what I thought Stray would assign to Gyper, just because it is quite challenging for if you don't know what your opponent's skill level is necessarily. Because early wrecked ship plus lava dive without Varia.
Gyper going in to challenge Straevaras on his strats here. This is going to be interesting. Being that the Straevaras does know how to do his stuff, Lava Dive is not going to be an issue. It's just a matter of conservation of energy and ammunition all the way through and through.
Yep. Yeah, so we're definitely going to see Stray go up Red Tower once we get there. It'll be interesting to see if Gyper also chooses to go up Red Tower or if he's going to collect energy for a Hell run.
Again, as I mentioned on the last race that I commentated on, it doesn't mean much, but Stray managed to get out just a few milliseconds faster than Gyper on the start of the escape. Stray coming out with 59.80, Gyper coming out with 59.75. This doesn't mean much in the overall haul, but again, just a reminder that milliseconds can sometimes be the biggest game changer.
Yeah, and he escaped fairies about a full second or two faster there.
Looks like Straevaras will be getting planet side with about sub 2 minutes to start. That's a good pull out of there. Gyper's going to be pulling just behind on, stardom maybe like 205 tops. But again, routing starts to happen as soon as they get Morph Ball.
So if you were forced column 5, what would you pick to complement it?
Well, for the fact I'm not good at Lava Dive, that would probably be my own doing, but if I did have enough skill level to pull myself through for a complement with that, I would definitely go row 4 to help myself out just a little bit, because again, I'm already going to have to Lava Dive, I'm already going to have to get Swing Ball or Dragon, so why not take row 4 and just cut the difference in half?
Yeah, row 4 is not bad at all. 15 power bombs is nothing. It's only 2 packs besides the one you have to get.
And knowing how Straevaras is going to play, he'll already go up Red Tower to get that done. Ooh, getting some pits there, Gyper, is that's not going to be a good start off. Straevaras, I think, got 1 or 2.
So EOD, I see Lava Dive in column 5 because they have to finish in Metal Pirate. I mean, they could go and kill Dragon and get Space Jump if they wanted to. It's not a forced Lava Dive, but it's definitely faster to Lava Dive. Yeah, so we'll definitely see Stray do Gravity Jump, but it's the question of, does Gyper know how to Gravity Jump? And that's why I was talking about when we are first looking at the card that I figured Stray would give that to Gyper.
So, interesting strategy. Straevaras going straight back up to wake up the planet and head up the shaft. Meanwhile, Gyper turning around to get the backup missile. This could be part of an alternative strategy, or he has chosen himself to collect a certain amount of missiles, which means he could have column 4 or row 2 as complement to column 5.
Yeah, quite possible.
Also, just for a quick explanation to explain to people, doing a lava dive means you're going into really earlier than intended without gravity, and it requires a couple of key point precision jumps, keeping in mind that you have a very, very fast draining health if you don't have Varia, so by skipping this, normally when you do RBOs, a Varia is the first thing you get. well, one of the very first few things you get in order to get down there. Now, with gravity jumping, if you're smart enough, you know how to do this, but it's very simple progress. Just before making your jump from a crouch position, pausing the game at the right time, just before you into the menu, you hit jump, you should be just about to take off from the ground, you turn off gravity, and you go sailing clean in the air. It's a great way to get yourself through Meridia a lot faster if you don't want to sit there and take the time to get grapple, rather.
Alright, looks like Stray has finished up Bomb Chorizo. We'll be heading down to Brinstar.
And a very nice Alcatraz from Straevaras there.
And yeah, I definitely could see them choosing row 4 and choosing to defeat Dragon instead of collecting Spring Ball. Because if you have to kill Batoon anyway, then you might as well just go and kill Dragon.
Exactly. Now, Gyper there gave himself a little bit of difficulty right off the gate. Bomb Chorizo started to doing the energy beams, gave him a little bit of a setback, so that's going to allow Straevaras to get a bigger leap into the lead, and he's currently running like nothing's ever been missed. Ooh, shooting a stray super. That's random.
He forgot to deselect the super to shoot the Chozo ball. Looks like he's picking up both missile packs. And the reserve.
So there's a good chance with column 5, he's doing what we think is probably going to be the best option, going with row 2. And Straevaras getting a very tight mock ball out of the freaking reserve room. Very nice job there. That's a very tight thing to pull off. Now Gyper finally getting down into Brinstar. The races are both still neck and neck, but again, it's the first few cards that are collected by either one that may make the difference in the end.
Yep. Yeah, it definitely looks like Stray's probably planning on row 2. He's doubling up on the Spring Ball and then skipping Ice Beam as he needs to defeat Krakow anyway. Yeah, it looks like he's going to be just grabbing all the Brinstar missiles by the looks of it.
Where there's a total of 70 missiles in Brinstar, this gives you some pathing options, especially early in the going. If you know where you're going, those 40 missiles are immediately in your reach, so that's an easy kaboom. And Gyper got himself one of the reserve tanks, checking his map now, possibly plotting out his future. He could be going on row 2 as well.
So by my count, Stray already has 30 Brinstar missiles.
Within a record of almost 10 minutes, this is going to put him in a very good spot.
35. Yeah, he's going to have the Brinstar missiles super quick here. He's probably going to pick up the ones behind power bombs. The red tower missiles.
Don't blame him. Easiest option possible. I mean, you're right there. Might as well get him.
Yep. Gyper is entering pink Brinstar. Stray is going into red tower.
So at this point, for comparison, Stray has about, if he keeps on target and doesn't mess anything up, has about a minute or two lead. If he can get everything he's trying to do so far early as possible, he's gonna have himself a very good lead, which will help him out very well. Unfortunately, he missed that damage boost, went right into the Samus Muncher, so that might mess him up a little bit. Meanwhile, Gyper just collected charge, and we do believe Straevaras got charged too.
Yep, Stray definitely got charge.
And as we thought, Straevaras is going in the bag for the extra missile.
Yep, so that should be 40 Brinstar missiles already.
Straevaras really trying for that damage boost in that room, not quite getting it somehow. Meanwhile, Gyper opting to go down the hole into red from in the middle of Red Brinstar Tower. Gonna head down and see what he can do there. Meanwhile, Straevaras is heading up. He might be heading to wreck ship.
Yep, Stray's going right to the wreck ship. Gyper is grabbing Spazer. But yeah, so neither of them can do column 1, row 5, row 3, or column 2. Because they both have collected charge beam.
Ooh, just a frame shy, and Straevaras almost nailing the CWJ and fortunately touched the water. That's going to cost him a couple seconds, but he's going to try again. Second time is the magic.
Second try. Oh, yeah, and they can't do row 1 because of wave beam. So it's interesting that Gyper is going down to Kraid. I hope he doesn't pick up Varia. I hope he's just killing Kraid for the energy tank.
Let's hope so too, because if he does grab Varia, that invalidates him, right?
Yeah, he'll have to reset to a point when he doesn't have it. It's probably just going for the energy tank for safety.
Can't blame him for wanting to get the energy tank to have a little extra boost, but yeah, that will cost him, considering his last restore point was at the start of the ship, which means he'd have to go through the whole process of waking up the planet again. That would add another 13 minutes to his time, which would actually suck.
Cartesian, both of them have the forced objective of collect gravity and skip Varia.
Very nice quick kill on Gyper. Meanwhile, Straevaras, very, very well done timed shot, avoids getting the Sunrise Surprise and manages to bump in a few extra missiles into Phantom, getting him down to a very good spot. And he's on the way to the E-Tank, possibly. Having a little trouble getting out of the hole. Meanwhile, Straevaras has just knocked off Phantom.
Very nice quick kill on Kraid, and then a very nice kill on Phantom. Yeah, he's definitely getting... Gyper's definitely getting the E-Tank.
Without a doubt, anyone who's doubting before, your doubt has been removed. Straevaras has not lost a single edge at all. Gyper now heading down into Norfair. Straevaras gets the super missile behind the locked door.
I wonder if Gyper's getting energy to do a hell run.
Would be a good idea to help you get a boost to start, but in the end, it may or may not pay off depending on how you route it.
Now it looks like he's heading to high jump. It's really easy to get energy tank. And they can't do row 1 or column 2 anyway, so don't have to choose between high jump and ice beam. So you can feel free to grab either.
Very, very nice mock balls from Straevaras heading into the bowling section. Planning his route really good, getting gravity really early. This will help him in the long run, getting down into Meridia and getting stuff done. This will also help him get the gravity jump we mentioned about going into lower North Air.
Stray is entering bowling. Nice damage boost, only got hit 2 times.
Indeed, very excellent strats. Managing to get a double damage boost, saving himself, funnily enough, looks like 69 energy.
Wild Anaconda would be proud.
Meanwhile, Gyper is going in for
a hell run.
So hell run's pretty scary. Janice, what would you do in this situation?
Well, you definitely want to take as little damage from enemies as possible and be as efficient in movement as possible.
Ooh, unfortunately he got tagged there once. Hopefully he has enough time to get through, especially with his reserve. Hopefully he remembers to turn his reserve off and use it before it hits. Took a hit. Yep, he's gonna end up taking it down.
Yep, ran into the seahorse, the lava horse there.
Very nice shooter screw by Straevaras, making very little effort whatsoever to get through everything, going back down through Red Tower. Meanwhile, Gyper took a down, gonna have to reattempt the hell run or replan his strategy.
Yep, it's very good that he saved right beforehand.
Here he goes for his second attempt. Meanwhile, Straevaras, very flawless entry coming down into Red Tower, going through the spike pit room, gonna make his way down, possibly going to Meridia to help save himself some time. Now, Janice, in the question of collect Spring Ball, defeat Dragon, which one would you go for?
Well, Stray is obviously going for collect Spring Ball, based on the way he's played this so far. As for Gyper, it really depends what he's ending up choosing as his secondary row. Ooh, looks like Gyper died again, unfortunately.
Down. That is going to add some very costless timing. Also, by the way, don't forget to check off Straevaras for column 5 top piece.
Oh, yes.
So Gyper now taking another down between the two runs and attempts. It's about 1.5 to 2 minutes he wasted. So this is going to definitely add up to him, wasting a total 4 minutes in the hell run, having a very rough start going through here. This may or may not pay off for him.
Yeah, he's definitely more confident in his ability to get through the hell run than getting through a CWJ or a horizontal bomb jump over the moat.
Flares give him a little bit of help. Unfortunately, he dives into the lava. Oh no, it's going to be another one.
Yep.
Ouch. 3 in a row in almost the exact same spot. That's going to very much so hurt up. Meanwhile, Straevaras, no effort whatsoever, breaks in the high jump without even breaking a sweat.
Alright, Gyper is giving another attempt to the Hell Run here. Meanwhile, Stray is in the same room, but with gravity.
And just unlike most basic hacks out there nowadays, Straevaras having gravity nullifies the heat effect of the room, thus giving him a little bit of an edge here, even though he has lower energy. And Gyper is going to take yet another down in the same spot. This is gonna add up bad.
Yeah, he's just having problems with that last room. He's getting to it fine. It's just navigating those platforms and all the enemies in that last room there.
I'm noticing in the cathedral he seems to be overshooting his jumps just a little bit and also pausing in places he really shouldn't. The unfortunate part is these hell runs need to be very, very consistent. You have to be very perfect, spot on, and pixel perfection going consistently. Meanwhile, Straevaras gets speed booster and flying away.
Yep, I wouldn't be surprised to go and see him go and grab the Norfair Reserve now. Oh, he barely missed the damage boost over to the Reserve, but then he gets first try wall jump.
Oh!
Oh, was he
Man,
right
he
at the
got
door?
robbed!
Was he
Legit
right at the
buzzer
door?
beater. He only had 20 frames to step and he got buzzer beatered by
Oh,
the door. Ouch. Meanwhile, Straevaras gets the reserve. This is going to add to his total count of 2. Needs one more. Hopefully he'll think smart and get the one that's on the way.
yeah, he'll probably finish. Or yeah, he'll grab the Reserve on the way out of Meridia down to Norfair.
The one consistent thing adding up for Gyper right now that's really making his life hard is he's letting the reserve auto-activate, not having that much in there to begin with, but in the second part of the cathedral, making his way through, he's always hitting his head on that jump, which is making it that much more difficult. Thus, he also keeps making the same mistake on the jump on the way through in the lava pit room, always hitting that ceiling and thus getting caught and thrown into the lava, adding extra damage. It's not already bad enough you're taking damage from the heat, but add in the fact you're in lava, that's double damage.
Yeah, it adds up really quickly. Alright, Stray is going down to Crocomire.
Definitely gotta give Gyper credit. He's not giving up. He's being very consistent and trying. Gotta give him that much credit. He's trying to stick to his plan and do it best.
Textbook fight. Crocomire fight here.
Yes, very much so. Straevaras is on a roll, makes a run through the lava, gets it. Meanwhile, Gyper was coming in strong from the cathedral, unfortunately taking some hits from the lava seahorses, falling in 3 times. This is going to add up to, what, his 9th death now in this one area?
Not sure about 9, but it's up there at this point.
Just for people in the chat for confirmation, the row they're doing allows them to collect only wave or charge. Straevaras chose charge for the obvious reason.
Here goes Stray, going to grab Grapple. Yeah, Gyper just keeps jumping too high right into the lava pit room here. It's definitely a problem.
One thing he should consider doing, especially if he has the reserve, as soon as he gets into that last room, he should try taking high jump off, even though it does give him a little bit more distance. It's the cause of him running his head straight into the ceiling half the time, thus adding into some of his problems.
Yep, that was a sick grapple escape by Stray. Nice super high jump into a mock ball under the blockade.
Very, very flawless too, add up very perfectly. Once again, Straevaras proving that it's not slowing him down one bit being on vacation.
Stray collected grapple so he can go and get spring ball and skip ice beam.
Alright, Gyper getting into the second room, having a little bit more energy this time. If he could quickly get across Cathedral a little bit faster and save himself with a 200 plus energy going into the final room, it would give him a little bit of an edge. But once again, he's falling in. This might add up to yet another down.
And he's not getting enough energy drops either to make it through.
So it definitely looks like Straevaras is going straight for row 2 and column 5 being combined together, which is what we thought would be the perfect mix. He's already got the 40 Brinstar missiles. Crocomire is down. He already has Charge Beam. He has Spazer. Did he get Spazer? Yes, he did get Spazer. Yep. He has Gravity Beam. So the only things he has to do now is go get Spring Ball, which will help him out. Get the reserve on the way out of Meridia, going down to Lower Norfair, and just make it down to the Metal Ninja Pirates, and he wins.
Yep, this will be not too much longer for Stray here.
Alright, Gyper finally got in with somewhere above the 190 point of energy. So far doing good. Unfortunately takes a hit. This may or may not add in. He's getting closer to the door this time. Oh, fell in. And he's going to get robbed again.
In the lava. Oh, if he would have picked up that 20 energy, he might have made it.
He's giving it his best, folks. We can't argue that. But unfortunately, his best is also being checked by the game time and time again.
Stray having a little trouble getting to the reserve tank.
Trying to pull off a crumble jump to lean into a little bit of a morphin. Almost getting it. Oh, tried a different strategy. Gonna try the wall jump. Nope. Unfortunately, Caramel Block breaks away again.
Yeah, because I think you're intended to have Spring Ball to get that a lot easier.
Yes, Spring Ball is technically the path you go for to start off to get this, but you can find inventive ways around things. I mean, hey, we found the lava dive. Sheesh.
Of how Stray kept just trying to do the morph in midair instead of just bomb jumping right away.
And with 8 energy, ladies and gentlemen, Gyper finally pulls in. Just needs to get to the saver without taking a hit. He does it with 28 energy. He has finally made the hell run. Oh yep, my goodness.
He needs to farm a little bit of energy to make it to the farming spot up by Speed Booster. But that's pretty easy with these waivers. They typically give 20 energy.
The only crappy part about it is running into Cack Attack at the top. This will add in really fast because unarmored Cack Attack can do like what, 30 to 45 damage?
Quite a bit. It's definitely going to be safer to just pseudo screw while jumping up there. Just for a little bit of added protection.
Stray is definitely a man on a mission. Almost 30 minutes in, he's going for Spring Ball. He's definitely doing his best to get JRO a run for his money on his time.
He could easily bop JRO here.
Legitimately, with very, very good speed, pixel perfect timing, and running out of the room as fast as he can, he could very well get a 33-minute timer getting down to the pirate room if he hustles. The only challenge coming into that would definitely be the worst room in the game. Gyper now attempting to get to the energy is not going to do it this time. Ooh, yep,
Oh,
denied.
barely.
Legit goes from 0 to 85 and died. Legit 1 health away was the difference.
Alright, all Stray has to do is make it down to the metal pirate room, and he has got this done.
To explain to just Iron Man, in case anyone else is out there that's not quite in the loop, this room is dictated as the worst room in the game, especially when you're going in early to do like low percent, because you don't have screw attack, you're not most likely gonna have space jump, and you got pirates that can do heavy damage, and all you got is a pea shooter. You're not gonna make it through that room in one piece unless you're frame perfect with your wall jumps to get around everything. That is why it's been dubbed by low percent speedrunners the worst room in the game.
And just in general, that room, even in any percent, can be terrible.
Straevaras struggling out the back door a little bit, manages to make it through. Meanwhile, Gyper has now got to his second hurdle in this particular Hell Run strat. Trying to get the speed booster, needing the energy to get up the shaft, is unfortunately taking hits he doesn't need, and once again getting denied of his energy.
He was like a frame or two off from collecting the energy there, I think, to be able to live.
He is just being casted the wrong lot at the wrong time at these hell runs. Meanwhile, same story holds true for Straevaras prior to gravity. Going into Phantom with only one energy tank, unless you're very confident and know his patterns, that can really end disastrous too.
Yep, looks like Stray is going to be farming up some health here.
Definitely going to attempt the lava jump. Though not too surprisingly, it is a little bit awkward. He's not using the back door to go back down to Ridley. He's going to go through the front way to get to the entrance.
Oh, we're going to see a lava spark here by the looks of it. Didn't get the short charge, but they'll do a textbook gravity jump here.
As you can see there, at the last second, he goes back into the pause menu, so he still has control of himself in the lava, which has water properties. So this will help him get through, getting himself down into lower Norfair. Meanwhile, Gyper has finally made it to the top of Speed Booster's energy refill, farming up what he can to get Speed Booster and get the heck out of there.
Checking on how much he has in the reserve. He should have a full reserve now.
Ooh,
there he goes.
Unfortunately, Straevaras is trying to get a blue suit run into the lava pillar room to make it to the worst room in the game with more energy. Unfortunately failed, so he had to powerbomb his way through. Now, Gyper going on his way down to Speed Booster has a little bit of time that he could make up some type of ground, as long as Straevaras doesn't die. Just remembering, Straevaras has not saved recently, so all his progress could go bad and awry within this next couple rooms with the Key Hunters.
Yeah, got through the worst room in the game, no problem.
Coming up to the true worst room in the game.
Made it through the amphitheater, no problem.
Gyper now holding on for dear life, trying to get some extra energy so he can get down from getting speed booster. Manages to do so, walking out with 110 energy. Ooh, Straevaras, nice dodge with the key hunter there. Managed to get just under it to keep all his energy.
At least getting out once you have speed booster is a lot easier than getting in.
Straevaras getting a very nice tight mock ball underneath all the Destigas. Gets a double KO. Oh, only gets a single. And opens the door to the Metal Pirate Room.
And he is done. Straevaras has done with an SRL race time of 35:36.
That is impressive.
So he was 1 minute behind bopping J-Ro for fastest finish.
The only real struggle that Straevaras had there, going in from the start, he did get one pick going through to get his morph ball, and had a couple struggles along the way, but he managed to still, minus his couple of imperfections, managed to come clean through.
Yeah, a 35-36 while having to go and get Spring Ball and go to Lower Norfair is still very impressive. Looks like we're going to see Gyper go up Red Tower. And I would assume save and refill at the ship and then head into the wrecked ship.
In the mention of a couple things that Straevaras could have gotten and beaten J-Ro's run with a little bit cleaner. One of his energy pink pickups was not clean, and the other thing that really wasn't clean was having to do the second attempt at the CWJ. Again, those both added just mere seconds, even though having to go get Spring Ball and everything. He still managed to have a pretty almost flawless run with absolutely no problems whatsoever from the let-go. Not to mention, managing to get through Fan 2 without dying and get in a couple good patterns there, and making very, very short work of Crocomire.
Yep.
Meanwhile, as everyone else is already probably questioning in chat, I have questioned myself a little bit on Gyper's choice of routing. Again, this is something that we mentioned at the start of this, that routing was going to be the most important thing, and I am now questioning his route very much so.
He's probably doesn't know the CWJ or the horizontal bomb jump, or doesn't know the setups well enough to do those. So the other option is then to hell run for speed booster to be able to get over to the wrecked ship.
Meanwhile, Straevaras having a little extra fun at the pirate's expense, managing to make shadow clones out of the speed booster. For those ever wondering how Samus dances with holographic projections, here you go. What Samus does on the weekends.
Yeah, the other option is to hell run to Crocomire, since Croc's room is not heated. So you can make sure to farm plenty of health and be able to get the extra E-Tank from Croc and then go and get Grapple.
Looks like for some added extra fun, Straevaras here are gonna fight Ridley next to low percent with all these missiles and just charging Spazer. This is gonna be an interesting thought.
Yep, Gyper's picking up the Red Tower power bombs.
So it looks like we can almost certainly confirm that his plan was to try to go from bottom left to top right and do column 5.
It's quite possible he's doing row 4 too.
This is true.
Because if he chooses to defeat Dragon instead of collect Spring Ball, then defeat Batoon is just on the way.
Also, to Mr. Cab, Spazer's power technique with the power bombs is legit just a rain of Spazers going up and down on the screen. Just straight up, straight down, boom. So explain a little bit on that for everyone else in the chat. With the power bombs, you have charge combos. What it is with a specific beam equipped, each one does a certain thing. I know Ice creates a 4-particle shield, Waves does the ever famous X Factor, and then for Spazer it rains up and down. And then what is Plasmas by chance? I don't know.
Plasmas is actually shown off in the intro of the game. It's 4 rings of green that pulse in and out.
Sorry, the X fan in me is just thinking, sounds like Boomerang or Charge Attack.
Yeah, I think the main special beam attacks that's used is obviously the X Factor, and then the other one that I've seen used in a run is the Ice Shield.
Okay, for now going down to handle Fantoon. Meanwhile, watching Straevaras here, he has not once gotten hit by Ridley. Holy crap.
He knows Ridley's AI very well. I mean, you kind of have to run RBO. Because you cannot afford to get hit in RBO.
Yeah, accidentally took 1 hit there, but he still managed to pretty much get Ridley locked into 1 position.
Gyper is starting off the Fantoon fight.
So Gyper not having too much luck there.
Slow.
Yeah, he's getting 2 slow patterns so far. That's very unlucky, especially in race standards.
Yeah, he keeps hitting Fantoon with 3 missiles right away as well, instead of staggering them to get more damage in.
Yeah, that's one of the more important things to know about with Fantoon is you can stagger them off. Like, you can hit a charge beam in the start to get optimal damage, then, fire 2 missiles, give it a sec, and then you can do another charge beam if you wish, or you can pump in some more missiles.
Yeah, Fantoon runs away when he has taken a certain threshold of damage in a short amount of time.
One mistake definitely most people probably made as a kid is accidentally telling Fantoon to eat a super missile. For those that have done that, you know exactly how bad that does not end.
Yeah, I mean, if you know about if you know about the pseudo screw, it's not the worst thing. It just is a time waste. But yeah, as a kid, you wouldn't know that, and it's very bad.
Ooh.
Speaking of,
and on 46 energy,
he has charge, so he'll be fine.
Still, unlucky. Once again, activating his energy reserve, not a good thing to do. Still manages to get Fantoon down though. Very nice.
He was 1 missile off. He was 100 damage off when he hit him with the super missile. Because that super missile he fired there didn't even hit Fantoon. Fantoon was dead on the missile.
Gotta tell you, Janice, the one interesting thing about watching these tourneys is watching people come out and play and watching their strats and learning new different things about the game you may or may not have never known before.
Yeah, I love watching double anti-bingos and like randomizers and kind of the weirder percents or the weirder categories because there's so many different things that can happen in Super Metroid. But if all you watch is like 100% or any percent, you're not going to see all that many of them. Like fighting Ridley without charge.
I've done that before in a route randomizer.
Yep,
Very
I've had to do
interesting.
that. I think we've seen it at least once in the double anti-bingo tournament here where someone had to go and fight Ridley without charge.
Meanwhile, Straevaras just having fun with this key hunter for no good reason whatsoever.
He's just showing off.
Hey, if you got talent, make use of it.
Yeah. That was Cerberoth. That's right. Cerberoth was forced to fight Ridley without charge. And he stuck through it. He died many times, but he just had the guts to just keep going right back to Ridley.
That's why right now I have a lot of respect for Gyper here. Even though Straevaras has long since won, he's still doing his best to finish and come out strong anyway.
Yeah, Captain Duck, the amount of missiles and supers you need depends on how many supers you get. Because Ridley has 18,000 health. Supers do 600 each, missiles do 100, power bombs do 200.
So to round that out for everybody, you need roughly 30 super missiles straight, no misses, into Ridley to take him out if you do not have charge beam.
Yep. So you'll want to collect plenty of ammo if you're ever forced to do that.
Plus, another side note, which really helps, and it proves a point that Ridley is more afraid that Samus than Samus is another M of him. He chickens away from you if you happen to start dropping power bombs on him. So if you find yourself in a pinch situation and you're trying to decide between doing a crystal flash or power bombing him to death, if you don't got charge, definitely want to save that crystal flash for trying to get him to go away. Guy for getting through bowling, taking 3 hits, attempted to damage boost once, didn't quite get it. Straevaras now trying to have fun and do a gate glitch, and it's not working.
There he goes. He got it.
There you go. As the Metroid construction community says, 25th time's the charm. Running joke, I won't say who it is, everyone there already knows anyway, but one particular person was playing a hack and was trying to get into the back door of Golden Chorizo, wasted all 25 super missiles on the Golden Gate.
I didn't actually know that power bombs force Ridley to pick you up if he's at 0 HP.
I didn't know that either. That's something new to know. Thank you, Elm.
Alright, so Gyper has now collected Gravity Suit.
I'm tired,
definitely going to,
54.
it's definitely going to save.
One of those more interesting moments coming out of Straevaras there, pulling off the speedball. Very, very interesting and wonderful trick. For those that don't understand the concept too well, basically combines Morph Ball and Speed Booster into a Mach Ball at the right time, so you end up soft morphing while you're speeding to go flying as a ball. A good representation of that being used is Real Red's Hyper Metroid actually incorporating the ability into Spring Ball after you get Speed Booster, which is kind of nice.
And now he's showing off crumble jumping. And Gyper is heading over to the wrecked ship energy tank. Alright, looks like Gyper was planning on his route. Oh man, we're gonna get to see the Forgotten Highway.
That's an interesting thought. Oh, Project Base did that first. Well, my bad. Then credit goes to Begrime then. Oops. Either way, they both used it. Move on. Meanwhile, Straevaras just showing off crumble jumps like nobody's business.
Alright, Gyper is going to be heading down into Meridia here.
Using quote-unquote what is now considered Meridia's backdoor versus, the actual new tube, which is the backdoor.
Yep. So let's see, he has to pick up... Oh, I see what he's going to do. He's going to kill Batu and Dragon, get the power bombs on the way out, and then go down to the Metal Pirates. I think that's what his route is here. So besides having trouble with the Hell Run, Gyper actually had a pretty well laid out route for assuming me not knowing CWJ or horizontal bomb jump. Ooh, looks like he got grabbed by the... Grabbed and pulled into the...
Get pulled down into the sand pit of doom. He's not having good luck on this run with stuff like that. Again, if, he managed to get through the Hell Run pretty decently on the first attempt, he might have been almost on pace, beating, having a race to the finish their opponent intended to see who gets through Laura Norfair the fastest. Now Straevaras just once again showing off, getting stuck in the door, waving his arm around like nobody's business.
At least Gyper can go down the tube and go back into the main street area of Meridia to be able to go the normal way to Batoon.
I gotta say though, this has been one of those runs that's been most interesting to me because this is one of the only runs I've ever really seen, a speedrunner in particular, or Straevaras, just only use Spazer. I'm used to seeing him just use Ice Beam.
Yeah, well, when he ended up choosing skip Ice Beam and get Spazer.
Ah, you mean between the choice between Charge and Wave? Yeah.
Yeah, and he chose to get Charge because Charge Beam.
Well, the obvious reasons, yeah, having Charge Beam, makes a few things a little bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, overall, like, this card wouldn't be terrible without Charge Beam. Or at least the forced row.
The good side, though, with at least Spazer, it was a damage booster, so it helped out a little bit. I noticed it was interesting he didn't go for it first going into, going into Fantoon, but overall, his strats paid off.
Looks like Stray's gonna go over and get X-ray scope.
Meanwhile, Gyper has broke the new tube and is heading into Lower Meridia.
Stray's gonna do the damage boost way to get over to X-ray, even though he has grapple.
Once again, just Straevaras having fun.
Yep, showing things off.
Gyper opting to, instead of doing gravity jump, to go around and do the Shine Spark all the way up to the Meridia Main Street. Very nice shot there.
Yeah, he has plenty of health. Batoon shouldn't be much of a trouble. And then he can save before Dragon, just in case.
Yeah, as long as he sticks in the corner in case things get dicey with Batoon, he'll be fine. I mean, he has enough missiles and supers that, just has to time his shots, charge correctly, and be kaboom.
Just a couple more shots and Batoon will be taken care of here.
Just having a little bit of trouble picking and choosing his shots. He's getting a little bit jumpy ahead of himself. It has cost him a couple shots that should have been clean, but he finally does get Batoon down. I would like to say I find it interesting that instead of opting to go for Spring Ball, he is opting to take out Dragon, which means he will have to go and get Ice Beam. Well, not necessarily has to, just has to get 15 Power Bombs, but another option available.
Yeah, 15 power bombs isn't terrible, especially when you have to leave Meridia to go to the Metal Pirates. You can just get them on the way out. I mean, probably defeating Batu and getting the wreck ship energy tank and 15 power bombs is going to be easier for him than Spring Ball, which would be going out of the way to kill Krakameyer or getting Ice Beam and having to do an Ice Clip.
Late thought process going down through this, but looking back through, column 3 going down there would have been, another easy assistance with a couple different things. Just going back and then talking about different strats and stuff. Just noticing that you have to get the Meridia map station and the Criteria or the wreck ship map station. A couple of those are on the way through some areas, so it would have been too bad of a time waste. I mean, especially with the wreck ship and Meridia as being on the way out almost.
Yeah, if you're considering column 3 though, it's much better to just do row 2 like Stray did though, because if you're getting collect Spring Ball and skip Ice Beam, you might as well do the row that's defeat Krakameyer, and it's less missile collection.
Gyper now going in trying to Shine Spark Dragon to get him down. Going for possible blue suit strats here. Blue suit strats.
Stray has finished already. HCP Nagger. Gyper is still going.
Yes, Stray has been finished for almost a good 20 minutes now, just to set the point and record straight. It's been very interesting.
What is Stray doing here?
Like Stray has been doing for the last 20 minutes, been having fun with the game at any time he can. And again, you can't blame the guy. I mean, might as well, he earned it.
He's having some fun with these crabs here. Oh boy, he did the crab clip up to.
Gotta tell you, I'll be watching this VOD just for that once again, because that was so lightning quick and interesting. Yeah, snails. Either or. Crabby snails.
I'm running on like 3 hours of sleep. I've been up since 5 a.m.
Haven't been up that late, but I feel ya. Sleep has definitely not been my best friend lately. But now Gyper has finished with Dragon. Literally now just has to go and get a couple more power bombs, and then see you in the Mill Pirate Room. Now, Straevaras having fun with Botwoon, doing, some spazer tricks and having some enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, let's hope Gyper remembers to grab the power bombs. I'm pretty sure he's only picked up 2 packs so far.
Well, one that would be an option on the way down, which is kind of embarrassing to have to admit that you did this, especially in a run, but you can always just take the powerbomb of shame.
I mean, I did that in my last race. Just because it was on the way to kill Ridley, which I had to do.
And for those not quite sure what the powerbomb of shame is, in the room with the Desigas, before you do the double KO, off to the left is a hidden powerbomb in case you run out in the middle of the way down.
Yeah, I suppose that the power bombs of shame are a bit less of a detour than going down the sand pit in Meridia. Definitely a bit better.
This is true, because if you have to sit there and go through the sand pit, you have to go through a couple different animations, and it's just, it's not really worth it at that point. You're better off just, going to get what's on the way. Meanwhile, Straevaras getting a full affy, having an enjoyment of fun at it.
Gyper taking a safety save here.
Can't blame
him. He does have space jump and gravity suit, so he should be able to get into Lower Norfair no problem.
Can't blame him for the safety save in case the Namihimes end up mapping him around the room a little bit.
That's true. Those do quite a bit of damage.
By the way, for those asking, that's the faces on the wall in the lava pit. And very nice grapple kill from Straevaras. Holy god.
I love the grapple kill.
Oh, dude, grapple kill is my favorite. Although there is an alternative in case you screw up if you manage to keep your cool. If you can manage to have Dragon get you up through the room enough, you can aim up or down to get a side hit on the wall to thus, still manage to pull it off. But Straevaras there, literally pulling out all the tricks in the book. Meanwhile, Gyper hitting the ceiling on the way out of the lava, taking a little extra damage he didn't want to.
Alright, Gyper is heading down. He will be done very shortly here.
Meanwhile, again, Straevaras showing off, managing to spin, space jump straight up in a line. Just messing around there. I must agree with ETAP. If there's ever such a thing that could happen, Straevaras is a living highlight reel when it comes to playing this game. Gyper now heading into the worst room of the game, but he has space jump, so it's going to be a little bit easier than Straevaras had, but still is going to have to lay power bombs or regular bombs at the top just to break through some of the barriers without having screw attack.
Yeah, it's not too much of a hassle, at least. Has to get a little used to the timing of the space jump there.
Which does take some time getting used to sometimes. I mean, you're not always prepared for, the immediate drop, and sometimes you miss your hit, so you end up screwing up and realizing, oh crap, you're about to drop out, and it's too late. Anyone who's played Redesigned knows how bad that feels sometimes. And before that one person says, what's Redesigned?
Oh yeah, Gyper does need to farm a super somewhere.
And trying not to run into key hunters would be an amazing start. Unfortunately, they are doing 50 damage. He only has 2 more hits now. I'll say this much for those that are asking what Redesign is. If you've not had the pleasure of knowing, you're better off not knowing.
This is true.
Ooh, Gyper having another callback trouble problem. The Segas are all over him, doing high amounts of damage. Has 1 left to worry about.
Oh, he almost jumped right into it. That was so close. Oh, he still didn't get a super missile. He has to find a super missile somewhere.
And there's his last power bomb with the power bombs of shame. And unfortunately, the only other place he can get one besides the Segas is back at the Key Hunters. Hopefully he's going to realize this. Well, not going to realize it until he goes all the way down. Yep, still not realizing it until he goes all the way down. Yep, and there's the face hoof.
I believe it is called a face paw, sir.
Face hoof, face paw, face
Face
palm.
palm.
Hey man, I type with hooves, what can I say?
It's quite impressive.
Hey, I still managed the game with them. And somehow, I suck less than I used to a year ago at Super Metroid. Right now,
with the paws is just as bad. Yeah. Well, at least he's in a relatively good position to farm these key hunters. They can get through that little gap, so he has to be a little careful.
yeah, the only thing he has to be careful of is the one that's below him. If it decides to get nosy, if his RNG and placement gets bad, they're either going to come in through the crack or they're going to come up behind him and just start whacking him off.
Oh,
and there it is.
He jumped into him. Oof. I think he was trying to get by them. Nothing's wrong with paws, Wiki paws. I'm just saying gaming and typing with them can be difficult.
Meanwhile, Straevaras is having fun, acting like a late-night stripper, swinging from that pole.
I'll have to unmark the power bombs, because he does have to recollect the power bombs.
Gyper here, probably going to try to go up and Try to farm this for some supers, not turning out too good.
Yeah, fun fact, those boulders don't get destroyed by screw attack, but they do get destroyed by the pseudo screw.
And getting power bomb dropped, that's not a good sign. I mean, they have a chance to drop supers, but their most likely drop is indeed going to be power bombs, if not small energy. Just as an added middle hoof. So it looks like Gyper's going to go over and get that extra power bomb that's over here, up at the top to the right.
Alright, he now has 15 power bombs again.
Don't want it to be announcer's curse because this is happening in too many football games and stuff, but that may not stay there.
Oh, he can't even go and get the Firefly U-Tank.
Nope,
To
because he
heal.
doesn't have a super. And another one in the face. Ah, I knew I should have never opened my mouth. So that once again rips away the 15 power bombs. I am feeling for this guy this run.
Oh, you can PB the faces. Okay, so he could have gone and got the energy tank for a little bit of safety there.
Gyper stalling to sit there and think Key Hunter gets attacked. He's going to try the Desigas one more time. He only has 50 energy, so he has to be very careful. He's 2 hits away from dying yet again. Well, now officially less than that.
Oh, I got a small energy.
You know, you often hear about people at GDQs being trolled by the game. This is a great example right now. Gyper is legit being trolled by this game. He's trying to get a super missile drop to happen. It is not happening. The game is just not being his best friend right now. Meanwhile, Straevaras is messing around with X-Ray, and Gyper here might have paused to throw in the towel. Don't know just yet.
He is not that forfeited yet. I think he's trying to find where super drops are or considering his options.
Again, not having screw attack does make this a little harder. He probably should have gone and gotten it to help himself out, because he could have used screw attack to farm some supers along the way over, thus making the worst room of the game the easiest room since sliced bread.
Yeah, I think he's definitely looking up what drops what. But it's definitely the key hunters. He just needs to reset, come out of the save room. And then farm the supers.
Which stinks, because again, coming into this, he had supers on the ready, so he could have possibly done the green gate glitch and, gotten supers, so...
Yeah, he used too many supers he used all his supers in the worst room in the game to clear out the golden pirates.
Which, fun fact for those that aren't, hardcore veterans just yet, golden pirates only take damage from fully charged plasma, screw attack, and power bombs and super missiles. So trying to just shoot them away like key hunters and stuff does not do you anything. Meanwhile, Gyper trying a new approach. He has this one key hunter stuck in place. Hopefully it does not trick out. And there's his
And a super
super.
drop. Go save. Just go save.
Seriously, turn back around, Gyper. Please save, for the love of God.
Just save. Please.
Please, no, don't do this.
Please.
Oh God. He's going balls deep on this one. Everyone in the chat is now legit yelling save. Everyone is like, oh God, save, please. Even your best friends, the announcers, are playing save. Going into this with 3 power bombs left, he is gonna have to make this as tight as possible. Oof.
Oh, he needs to remember to grab power bombs too.
He's only got 1 hit left. This is not good. Don't jump too high. Wasting his last power bomb. Clears out the Desiga. Has to hurry from the other one. Oh no, it got over there. Oh, this is gonna be so tight.
Alright, now don't accidentally KO through these platforms, please.
Okay, go, and for the love of God, don't miss. There we go.
Alright, he did it. He made it. He has done with an SRL race time of 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 25 seconds.
That was a bit.
He left a comment in the race channel after finishing that he does not know how to CWJ, so that makes sense why he chose to do the hell run for speed. It's kind of what I figured, because if you don't know the CWJ or the horizontal bomb jump, you can be stuck there for quite a long time. Or never figure out the timing on how to get over there.
Seriously, but still, Gyper definitely earning my respect. I don't know about anyone else, but for actually sticking through that, staying true to his idea and run thought process, managing to actually pull off the hell run. Again, if he didn't have so much trouble during the hell run, this could have been a very neck-and-neck race going into the finish. So, definitely good job for hanging in there, Gyper. You definitely get 5 stars in my book. But unfortunately, the winner today, definitely with us, 35-minute run, Straevaras pulling it out and getting the win.
Yeah, is definite props for him sticking through it and finishing. Even with having trouble with the hell run, even seeing Stray finish very quickly, he just stuck with it and went and just got it done. He had a plan and he stuck to it.
Folks, I said it before and I'll say it again. These runs have been, if nothing else, electric and entertaining. At the very least, these have been some very excellent runs. We've seen some very interesting strategies. The thought processes these people go through, legit just seconds before just launching into these things, is just so amazing.
Yeah, make sure to give both these runners a follow. They both performed very well, gave us a good show.
Absolutely. Everyone that participates in these events, no matter if, they win or lose, if they come out and put on a good show and you've been entertained, they definitely 110% deserve a like and a follow because they do some amazing things. They do some hardcore things. They do some testing things. And they've done some very educational things to help us further our knowledges in this wonderful game, especially with an event like Double Anti-Bingo.
All right, that was the last match for today. It looks like tomorrow at 2 p.m. EDT, there is a Metroid Fusion race. And then Wednesday at 2 p.m. EDT, there will be another Super Metroid Double Anti Bingo race. And that one is between Galamaz and Total.
I myself am definitely going to be looking forward to that race, and I myself will definitely be there to help call the action between these two. I've had a chance to do a little bit of small homework between the two racers for that day, and I got to tell you, it's going to be another very close and interesting race because those two definitely have skills that have reasons to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I wish I could watch it live or commentate, but I will unfortunately be at work for that.
That's a bummer.
But it was definitely fun. These two put on a good show. And I think that's all we have for you tonight. So we will see you next mission.
Have fun, Space Cadets, and remember, Samus needs you.